Mr. Lin finds himself perplexed by Ji's sudden fear and nervousness, unable to understand why she is so terrified. Jai, frozen with fear, stares at the demonic gargoyle statue with sweat dripping from her face as she reflects on the rapid events that unfolded before her. She realizes that the gargoyle swiftly attacked and devoured Rat Ryan, leaving her defenseless. Contemplating the feeling of staring death in the eyes, cold chills run through her spine as she acknowledges her own vulnerability in the face of such danger, realizing that our MC must have discovered Rat Ryan's deceit but chose to let his gargoyle handle the situation, sparing himself from dirtying his own hands. Despite acknowledging the brutality of our MC's tactic, she finds an elegance in its execution. Lin interrupts Ji's thoughts, noticing her pale complexion, and attempts to reassure her, emphasizing that his bookstore is a place for relaxation and that she has nothing to fear. However, Ji's fear intensifies and she apologizes for bringing Rat Ryan to the bookstore and for his impudence. Our MC becomes even more confused, unable to comprehend. He ponders why she is so scared. He wonders if she believes he eats people but dismisses the idea, considering her naivety due to her previous betrayal by her ex-boyfriend. Unaware of Ji's true concerns, our MC realizes that Jai may have trusted him due to the healing he provided her during her last visit. Determined to help her soul once again, he apologizes for his jokes and offers his assistance. Ji notices that Mr. Lin is called Soul and relaxes slightly, apologizing for her transgressions and requesting a book to strengthen her willpower. Our MC readily agrees and searches for a suitable book. In the meantime, he comments on Rat Ryan, stating that he seemed off and that discussions of absolute loyalty are better left untouched. This remark surprises Ji as she contemplates the possibility that the loyalty rune on Rat Ryan's neck might be compromised. Engrossed in his search, Mr. Lin encourages Ji, asserting that one can only rely on oneself and advising her to cultivate inner strength. He recommends a book titled How the Steel Was Tempered, assuring her that it will be helpful. Quoting various sentences from the book, our MC instills encouragement in Ji and reminds her to strike when the iron is hot and value life. As Ji leaves the bookstore, Mr. Lin continues reciting quotes from the book, leaving her with a sense of empowerment. Walking down the street, Jai examines the book's cover before opening it. Suddenly, the book emits particles of light surrounding her. A massive demon eye appears above her, and she hears the words, "The unending wheel of steel has a different effect on the power of the soul." Confused and disoriented, Jer experiences visions of the bookstore and the gargoyle within it. The vision focuses on the gargoyle's neck, revealing the broken loyalty rune of Rat Ryan, who had been swallowed by the gargoyle. Realizing that the rune was indeed cracked and broken, Jai is struck by a surge of dark energy from the demon eye, causing her pain and a nosebleed. In her vision, she confronts Rat Ryan, who is now suffering. Emerging from the vision, Jai marvels at our MC's incredible ability to transform her soul and infuse it with a substantial amount of mana. She feels a profound sense of satisfaction and believes that our MC has given her a second chance at life. Grateful for his guidance, Ji pledges absolute loyalty to Lin, vowing to give her all to him and never let him down again. As our MC sorts various books in the bookstore, our MC turns around to find Ji standing in the rain outside. He realizes that she has a nosebleed, leaving him puzzled. Jai, startled, quickly runs away while our MC contemplates the possibility that she might have developed feelings for him due to her vulnerability and betrayal in the past. However, he dismisses the thought, reminding himself to focus on gaining more customers instead. The Holy Knight Joseph appears standing in front of the bookstore, back again, at this time with the determination and resolve to complete his mission as he gazes at the paper he holds in his grasp. The radiant Holy Knight Joseph stands before the bookstore, emanating a powerful aura that acts as a protective shield against the pouring rain. Recognizing the opportunity, Joseph decides to enter and investigate, believing it to be his duty as a knight to protect law and peace. Meanwhile, inside the cozy bookstore, our MC sits engrossed in a book called The Little Prince, appreciating its philosophical points and heartwarming nature. He plans to read it before going to sleep, anticipating a quiet evening. As the doorbell rings, Mr. Lin eagerly anticipates a new customer. He contemplates the idea that Miss G might be his lucky charm, as every time she visits, new customers arrive shortly after. The radiant Holy Knight Joseph enters with a formidable presence, causing our MC to realize the threatening aura surrounding him. Nonetheless, our MC, being a gracious bookseller, warmly welcomes Joseph and offers his assistance. Joseph surveys the area using his magical eye to identify and determine any anomalies, but soon realizes that the bookstore is ordinary and that our MC is just an ordinary man. Perceiving the gargoyle as the only extraordinary item present, Joseph decides to further investigate. He asks Mr. Lin if he is the actual owner of the bookstore. Before responding, our MC contemplates the nature of Joseph and thinks that despite his threatening presence, he must be a good and gentle soul. Our MC then refers to Joseph as Grandpa, intending to use an endearing and respectful language. However, Joseph misinterprets the term as an insult, feeling surprised, shocked, and angry. He contemplates bashing our MC's skull in but restrains himself, reminding himself that Lin is just an ordinary man. Joseph inquires if the gargoyle belongs to Mr. Lin, who confirms that it was gifted by a customer. Joseph ponders why a powerful black mage like Old Wild would give such a gargoyle to an ordinary man. Joseph further questions our MC, wondering if he and Old Wild are close. Mr. Lin deduces their friendship based on Joseph's immediate recognition of the gargoyle's origin. Joseph admits that he has known Old Wild for many years, having shared experiences and shed blood together in war. However, he mentions a small conflict from 2 years ago, after which he lost contact with Old Wild. In his thoughts, Joseph plans to confront Old Wild, harboring intentions of violence. He believes that Old Wild used unfamiliar magic to escape their previous encounter. Our MC, oblivious to the truth as always, concludes that Joseph and Old Wild have a deep and enviable friendship. Joseph requests the address of Old Wild's current location, expressing his desire to pay him a personal visit. Our MC informs Joseph that Old Wild borrowed a book and will return in a few days, at which point our MC can inform him of Joseph's search. Mr. Lin then offers Joseph a seat and proposes lending him a book. Joseph declines, mentioning that he did not bring any money and claiming not to enjoy reading. Disappointed by Joseph's arrogance, Mr. Lin suggests he borrow a book for free to enjoy some tea. Joseph, still refusing to read, experiences a worsening headache. Mr. Lin, undeterred, slides a book titled A Seed of the Abyss toward Joseph, explaining that it is a fairy tale he is currently reading before sleep. Joseph scoffs at the idea of reading such an immature book, considering its ominous title. Unbeknownst to Joseph, Mr. Lin's books have a unique quality. They change and resonate with each customer's soul. Consequently, Joseph's perception of the book is different from Mr. Lin's, resulting in confusion and intrigue. Intrigued by the discrepancy, Joseph agrees to have a look at the book out of politeness. As Joseph touches the book, he experiences dizziness and pain, realizing that his sword, Candela, is resonating with something. Struggling to stay conscious, he faints and collapses. Mr. Lin, shocked, rushes to his aid, fearing that Joseph has suffered a stroke. However, he soon realizes that Joseph's vital signs are perfect, and he is merely sleeping. Confused yet relieved, Mr. Lin decides to make Joseph more comfortable and promises to inquire about the incident once he wakes up. Unbeknownst to them, the enchanted bookstore holds secrets that even Joseph, the radiant knight, cannot comprehend, setting the stage for a thrilling and magical adventure. Struggling to lift Joseph, our MC realizes that he can't move him despite exerting all his strength. Exhausted, he acknowledges Joseph's weight and muscular build, comparing him to a big brown bear. Mr. Lin contemplates whether another customer might arrive to help him, but dismisses the idea, considering the late hour and bad weather. Apologizing to Joseph, he decides to drag him by his coat to a more comfortable spot. After settling Joseph into a cozy chair, Mr. Lin notices his mechanical arm and ponders if Joseph is connected to Old Wild. However, he is amazed by the complexity of the arm and concludes that an ordinary old man wouldn't possess such advanced technology. Our MC speculates that Joseph might be a high-ranking retired military officer, attributing his guarded attitude to potential post-traumatic stress disorder, an honorable reminder of his memories of past battles. Mr. Lin wonders if Joseph's mechanical arm malfunctioned, causing him to faint and fall asleep. Concerned about the misunderstanding that could arise from someone witnessing the scene, he acknowledges the potential perception of him as a serial killer hiding a body. However, he assures himself that his actions are innocent, with no one around to witness them. Unbeknownst to our MC, a cat peeks through the door before hastily scurrying away. Hearing the sound of someone entering the store, Mr. Lin assumes it's a customer and steps outside to investigate. He notices the cat and warns it of the dangerous weather. Believing it to be a regular cat, he remains unaware of its true nature, a spy working for the secret instrument tower. The cat soon transforms into a man, revealing himself as Joseph's avid fan and a fellow member of the Order. Distraught, he contemplates the events, recalling battles and Joseph's pursuit of Old Wild. After waiting outside for Joseph's autograph, the man peeks inside to see why Joseph is taking so long. Witnessing Joseph fainting, he misunderstands Mr. Lin's compassionate words, fearing an ominous spell. Filled with terror, he assumes Mr. Lin could overpower Joseph and decides to flee, feeling compelled to report the situation. Outside in the rain, the man, whose name is Morris, trembles with fear. He contemplates the power of our MC, believing that he could have easily defeated Joseph. Confused as to why he was spared, he ponders Mr. Lin's motives. Determined, he decides to return and report the incident. Meanwhile, Joseph awakens and finds himself submerged in water once again. Believing it to be another illusion curse of Candela, he questions his surroundings. To his surprise, he feels no pain this time. Suddenly, he hears a voice emanating from the book, reciting the words, "When you gaze into the abyss also gazes into you." Recognizing the voice as that of the book, Joseph experiences overwhelming sensations. Another voice greets him, expressing happiness at finally meeting him. Joseph's pain fades and he realizes that the curse of Candela has been lifted. As Joseph regains consciousness, he exclaims, "Fairy tales are definitely for kids." Still slightly confused, he wakes up to find our MC turning towards him and saying, "Oh, Grandpa, you're finally awake." Rather than becoming angry, Joseph puts on a faint smile and expresses his gratitude, saying, "Thank you." The encounter with the enchanted book has brought forth a newfound understanding and connection between Joseph and our MC, setting the stage for an extraordinary and magical journey ahead. Mr. Lin asks Joseph how he feels, and Joseph takes a moment to examine his own body before responding that he feels great, even better than before. Our MC, impressed by Joseph's physique, is convinced that he must be a retired military officer. He reflects on his ability to accurately judge people and attributes Joseph's strength to his military background. Our MC realizes that Joseph's muscular build suggests that he could easily overpower someone with a single punch, but he is grateful that they are friends. Apologizing to Mr. Lin for inconveniencing him, Joseph acknowledges his hospitality. Our MC reassures him, stating that it's his job to help his customers and that he had the same mindset when dealing with Old Wild. Joseph agrees, recognizing Mr. Lin's kindness and dedication to helping others. He reflects on the similarity between our MC's warm and polite demeanor and the elves, an ancient race known for their elegance and kindness. Joseph recalls the curse of Candela and its effect on previous sword wielders. However, he realizes that this book he found in Mr. Lin's possession has the power to seal the curse. Joseph concludes that only an elf who has lived for thousands of years could possess such a book, which explains why Mr. Lin lacks a magical aura. He is intrigued and asks our MC if he can borrow the book, understanding its significance. Our MC gladly agrees, seeing the opportunity to help Joseph and gain a recurring customer. Our MC explains to Joseph that the book is perfect for him because it addresses the pain, turmoil, and regret that many people experience. He mentions how those who have witnessed the horrors of the battlefield carry awful memories, and their weakening kindness becomes their downfall. Mr. Lin encourages Joseph to embrace his vulnerability and understand that it takes courage to be a normal person, not just an invincible hero. Joseph comes to a realization that it's not the curse that drives people to madness and self-destruction, but rather their pursuit of perfection. He wonders why no one had ever pointed this out to him before. Mr. Lin acknowledges that the calming effects won't last long, but if Joseph allows him to help, he guarantees long-term results. Joseph is surprised by Mr. Lin's willingness to take on the curse of Candela himself, mistaking his intentions. Mr. Lin clarifies that he only wants to help Joseph and ease his burden. He assures Joseph that he and his heroic comrades deserve rest. Overwhelmed by Mr. Lin's selflessness and elegance, Joseph is left in awe and admiration. He requests to borrow the book and return within a week's time. Our MC gladly agrees, delighted to have gained a new customer after having Joseph sign up, ensuring his impeccable sales pitch and tactics finalized. Joseph decides to rest and leave his regrets behind, determined to serve justice. As he leaves the bookstore, uttering to himself that the demise of Old Wild is his sworn duty. Transitioning the scene to a green ominous layer, Old Wild is studying a book given to him by our MC, feeling euphoric as he learns about secret sacrificial rituals. He contemplates the return of the black-scale faceless, expressing gratitude to Mr. Lin and hinting at a special gift he has prepared for him. Unknown to both Mr. Lin and Joseph, their fates are now entwined in a tale of courage, sacrifice, and redemption as they face the imminent return of an ancient evil.